All right, hi there family and friends. Hope everybody's doing well. It's summer and July 4th is tomorrow, and my daughter Nikki, hi Nick, asked me to be in charge of the salad for our friends and family that are gonna come over for the 4th. So I decided to reach into my recipe box and I am gonna do a Sungold tomato vinaigrette dressing that I have put together over the years, and have that on the side to go with the salad. It's a great salad for the summertime when you have a million cherry tomatoes from the garden and you don't know what to do with them. And we always like the Sungold, the little yellow variety. They're really sweet and delicious, and you can blend them up to make a really delicious vinaigrette for your salad. So let's get going. I've got everything we need here. Everything goes into one container, so make sure you're using something that you can then use your immersion blender with. So make sure you pick a good vessel for your dressing. Let's go. So the first thing is Dijon mustard, just 2 teaspoons of that. So you can use a regular, measuring teaspoon. This calls for a lot of spoons, so I kind of line them up and just use a regular teaspoon. Just as good. We need 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. So I do need a measuring spoon for that. So here is the balsamic. And that goes in. This is a really easy dressing. It keeps well in the refrigerator. You just put it in an airtight container and it'll stay for up to a week in your fridge, and just pull it out as you need it. So if you're doing it for a crowd, whenever you do salad for the crowd, and Nikki is great at this, she puts the salad out dry with any dressing on it, puts a dressing on the side with a little, a little ladle, and let everybody dress their own salad. This way, when everybody's gone at the end of the party and you have a ton of salad left, it's dry, so you can just put it in the fridge and have it left over, which works out really well. Okay, so we've got our balsamic, we've got our mustard, about a half a teaspoon of salt. We've got to give it some flavor, and the same amount of pepper. Again, this is from my recipe box, so use it to taste. After you make it, taste it, and you can add if it's not enough, so be careful with that. We've got 1 clove of garlic. I've chopped it up so that when it blends with the immersion blender, it's gets a head start. So that's 1 nice sized garlic clove. This is something else to taste, right? If you like more garlic, you put more in. If you don't like the garlic, don't put it in. And then I've got a shallot here, a small shallot. I'm just gonna give it a final cut before I put it in. But if you don't have a shallot, a couple pieces of onion will do just fine. Whatever you happen to have on hand. Again, if you don't like onion, a shallot's got a mild onion flavor. Shallots are delicious. But if that's not to your taste, just don't put it in. You could put red onion in if you really like a lot of oniony flavor in the dressing, or you like red onion in your salad. If you put it in the dressing, I would not put it in the salad. So here is a little flexibility for you in terms of what you like. I like the shallot, and I happen to have one on hand today, so sometimes I use an onion if I happen to have that around. So there goes that. And we need 2 teaspoons of honey. So I have a nice honey here from a local farm, and I'm just double checking here on the honey. Yeah, 2 teaspoons of honey. Honey is delicious in dressings. I really like it. Gives it a nice sweet flavor. There's no sugar in this, so the honey gives it a nice juxtaposition against the tomatoes, which, depending on the tomato, sometimes they're sweet, sometimes they're not as sweet, so the honey helps all that. Okay, olive oil, And if you don't get these in the same order I got them in, it doesn't matter. Everything goes in and it all gets blended together. So this is 1/3 of a cup of a really good olive oil. So that's 1/3 of a cup. All right, we got our salt, our pepper. The only thing we need now is our tomatoes. So here's my 1 cup of halved Sungold tomatoes. Any cherry tomato will do for this. It's just going to change the color of your dressing, right? If you're using a red cherry, but if that's what you have from the garden, that'll be delicious too. So put those in, whatever you have. Combo is fine too, but I call the recipe Sungold Tomato Vinaigrette because we have a lot of Sungolds in the garden, and when I make this, that's largely what it is. So it's early July. We've had some Sungolds already. We'll have more soon. And if I look at my recipe card, I've got, I think, everything in there. The mustard, the balsamic, the salt, pepper, garlic, shallot, honey, olive oil, cherry tomatoes. We are done. So the next thing we do is we immersion blend. So I'm gonna do that. Be careful with this. If you have a regular blender, you wanna do it that way, or a food processor, you can do it that way too. The immersion blender, just easier to clean up. But you just push at it. And that is that. So once you get it done, you can see it makes about 1.5 cups of dressing. Look at the color of that, it's beautiful. All right, so we get our spoon. This is my 3rd little teaspoon. Let's take a taste. That's really good. Can use a little bit more salt, so this is the time to do it. And I don't know, maybe a little bit more pepper. Now, you could also put some herbs in here if you have some herbs in the garden. A little tarragon might be nice. I don't know, even some basil would be really good with this. Or maybe tear some basil into your salad. I think I'll do that. That would be a real surprise because tomato and basil go wonderful together. So I have some good basil in the garden. Gonna go in that salad. Okay, I'm gonna give it one more taste. Yep, that's it. Sungold Tomato Vinaigrette, ready for 4th of July. Hope you all make this recipe from my recipe box to yours. You can put this in the fridge, like I said, keep it up to a week. It's great as a dip for veggies. If you just want to do a crudite platter, put this on there and people will dip away. But delicious salad dressing. So, love you guys. See you next time. Take care.